Hi, and welcome to Step by Step through Mark's Gospel. Now, not everything that Jesus said made people happy. Some of the religious leaders didn't like his teaching. There were some topics that even his disciples didn't want him to talk about. In today's episode, we're going to look at one of those moments. If you want to read the passage for yourself, we're looking at Mark chapter 9 and verses 30 to 32. There's a link in the video description for an online Bible if you need it. Nicknames are strange things. It's okay if you like the name, but what if you don't? Now, my surname is a little unusual, Koschecker. As you can imagine, it's a name that spawned a lot of nicknames. Some are okay, but others are just frustrating and annoying. I can remember several occasions when a name has stuck, been used for several weeks, and I just wanted to turn around and say, just let it drop, will you? I wonder if the disciples felt a little like that with Jesus' persistence in speaking about his death on the cross. Here in this passage, Jesus takes his disciples to a place where they can be alone together. Why? Because he wants to explain the Son of Man is going to be delivered into the hands of men. They will kill him, and after 3 days, he will rise. This isn't the first time that Jesus has spoken to his disciples about his death. The last time it wasn't received particularly well. Peter had even pulled him to one side and rebuked him. Peter, James, John, and the other disciples, none of them wanted to hear about Jesus dying. So why did Jesus keep speaking about it? Well, let me give you 3 reasons from looking at verse 31. First, he wanted them to know that his death wouldn't be an accident. Now, if I'm hammering in a nail and I hit my thumb, that's an accident, right? It hurts a lot, but I didn't mean it. I didn't intend it to happen. I was aiming at the nail, and I missed. Is that what's going on when Jesus goes to the cross? He meant something different, and his death just kind of happened. It was all an accident. No. Look at the words Jesus uses as he predicts his death. The Son of Man is going to be delivered into the hands of men. Later, several weeks after the cross of Jesus, Peter explains to a crowd in Jerusalem just what happened. He says, "This man was handed over to you by God's deliberate plan and foreknowledge, and you, with the help of wicked men, put him to death by nailing him to the cross." The death of Jesus was intentional. God had planned it, and Jesus was delivered over to die. Jesus wanted his disciples to know this, so that they would realize that the cross was part of the plan. Then second, Jesus wanted his disciples to know that his death wouldn't be a surprise. It was a Sunday evening, and the next day was my 30th birthday. Yes, I know, a long time ago. When I got home, there was a strange car in the driveway. I was confused. What was going on? Once I opened the door, everything made sense. Friends had come down to stay for the night and spend my birthday with me. I had no idea. It was a complete surprise. Now, Jesus is going to enter Jerusalem. We'll see that when we get to chapter 11. And then just a few short days later, we'll find him hanging on a cross. As he does, is he thinking to himself, I didn't expect this. I didn't know that this would happen. No. What does he tell his disciples? The Son of Man is going to be delivered into the hands of men. They will kill him. His death was not a surprise, and Jesus wanted his disciples and us to know that. Yet there's also something else here. These words show us that the cross wasn't a mistake. When you die in a computer game, what's happened? You've made a mistake. What do? You go back and try it again, and this time you do it differently. Maybe take a different turn or give a different answer. Maybe use a different command or try a different trick. You can imagine Jesus' disciples looking up at Jesus on the cross and wondering what had gone wrong. Where did Jesus make a wrong turn? What could he have done differently? Yet this wasn't a mistake. Jesus tells his disciples about his death, but he also tells them about more than his death. Listen again to his words. They will kill him, and after 3 days he will rise. You see, Jesus wanted his disciples to grasp that the cross was not a tragic end where it all went wrong. Instead, it's part of a great plan that ends in glory. The glory of the resurrection. Now, they didn't get it, but one day they would, and each of them would devote their lives to telling the world about Jesus, the one who had died and who had risen from the dead. Now, I don't know how these verses make you feel. For me, the words staggered, amazed, gobsmacked, these are the words that come to my mind. Jesus died on the cross. Well, that's one thing. But Jesus meant to die on the cross. He intended it. That's something else. So why did he do it? Well, I don't want to jump ahead. We're going to see more of that later in Mark's Gospel, but let me give you 2 quick answers. First, he did it because he loves us. On the cross, the Bible says Jesus died for us. He gave his life for you and for me. Then the other reason, he did it to deal with our sin. Jesus died on the cross because that's what was needed for you and I to be forgiven by God. And because he died, if we trust in Jesus, the Bible promises that God will forgive us totally and utterly. He got the cross, and we get the gift he brought through his death. Is that how you see the cross of Jesus? Is that how you understand it? As we work our way through the rest of Mark's Gospel, we will delve deeper into Jesus' death and see more about what it means. That's all for this time. Join us in the next episode as we look at some more of the teaching of Jesus. If you want to be notified, just subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notifications bell, like our Facebook page, or subscribe to the podcast on Apple or Spotify. Hopefully, see you next time.